Welcome to the Craftessa, everyone. My name is Vanessa, and for today's DIY, we're going to take one of the Dollar Tree doll houses and we're going to turn them into a spooky yet chic haunted house. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, where I post super quick and easy videos, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure to hit the little bell button to get notified when I post new videos. Now let's get on with today's project. So for this project, I am going to take two of the Dollar Tree doll houses. You can find them in the toy section of the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use one full house and then half of the other. We're not going to use the roof and we're not going to use any of the little accessories that come with it because I'm going to attach these together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the windows and the doors because I want to keep these somewhat white. I'm going to paint these by hand, and the rest of the house I'm going to spray paint. So let's continue removing all the windows. So now the next step that I'm going to do is that I'm going to take some wire cutters and cut these two little hinges on the bottom part of the house because I want to hot glue them together, and then if I keep this, it's going to leave me with a gap. So it's plastic. It's a little hard to cut off, but with wire cutters or even a hot knife, you can easily remove them. So let me continue to do this part. So now that I removed the connectors, I am going to attach both of these pieces together. And what I am going to use is I'm going to use some E6000 glue along with hot glue. Now the reason for the hot glue is for it to hold the E6000 while it cures. This way, by using the E6000, you can guarantee that this is not going to fall apart. So let's continue. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the house and the two doors and I'm going to give them 2 coats of Rust-Oleum beige paint. It's actually French beige, and I'm going to do this outside, obviously, and I'm going to let that dry for a couple of hours before we continue the next step. So now the house is done, it's dry. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Folk Art multi-surface paint in black, and I'm going to do some dry brushing all over the house in order to give it a more older look and to give it some more dimension. So by doing dry brushing, just minor strokes, So now the house is painted, and I also use some other paints besides the black, and I'm going to tell you what they are. I use some gold and color shift paint. The color shift is in a brown color. I also used white chalk paint. Now I use the gold on the trims of the windows and the doors to give it a little pop of color. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I have scrap pieces of scrapbook paper, and I'm going to Mod Podge these on the floors. I guess I would call them the floors of the house in the back. This way you can see this pattern through the windows once the house is done. So again, this is scrapbook paper, and these are just pieces that I had left over, and I have enough to Mod Podge them to the back of the house. Now you can skip this step if you want, but I really like this checkered print that I have, and since I had enough, I'm going to do this with some Mod Podge, and then I'm going to let that dry probably for a couple of hours. Now the back side of the house, eventually I'm going to paint it. I didn't paint the back, I didn't spray paint it, but eventually I'll go in by hand and do that part. So I'm going to take some layers of Mod Podge and place the scrapbook paper. So let's continue. So the next step is I'm going to create a base for the haunted house to sit on. I'm taking one of these wooden plaques or planks from the Dollar Tree, and I still have some leftover scrapbook paper, and I'm going to cover the wood plank with the scrap paper. Again, I'm going to use Mod Podge again to lay down and cover this piece of wood. So let's finish. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add this little ghost to one of the windows. He's actually a foam sticker. I've had these foam stickers for quite some time. They're from Michael's. And I'm going to take a little wooden cube from the Dollar Tree. You can find the little wooden cubes at the Crafter Square section. And I'm going to stick the wooden cube to the back of the ghost in order for him to be able to stand up. And I'm going to hot glue him in the front of the window on the top. So it looks like, obviously, there's a ghost that's standing in the doorway. Let's finish this part. So the next step in this project is to secure the wooden plank to the house as the base. I'm going to do that just by using some hot glue, putting a generous amount of hot glue on the bottom of the house and attaching it to the wooden base. So let's continue. So the last thing I did to this project, which I actually forgot to record, I thought I was recording, is I added these trees. They're actually not trees, it is a twig garland from the Dollar Tree. And I cut the garland up into pieces and I made them look like trees and attached them to the sides of the house with hot glue. Now the haunted house is done and it is ready to display. I absolutely love the way that it turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell to get notified when I post new videos. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. See you all on my next DIY.